Hi guys, thank you very much for coming back to my channels, and to those new, thank you for stopping by. In this video I'd like to share with you how to draw a perspective drawing without the vanishing points. And in this one is going to be about how I'm going to draw a dormer window on gable roof with the Tudor architecture, Tudor features with the wooden frame or wooden structures. And before I start, I have a little bit of context that if you go to London, central London, or some part of the United Kingdom, there are numbers of the remaining Tudor buildings that are considered listed buildings, conserved for future generations. But there are also neo-Tudor, which are replica. For example, the Globe Theatre in South Bank. But also, if you go to central London, there's a very famous shopping mall named as Liberty. There's profound evidence of the Tudor architecture with wooden frames. But in this drawing is about how to draw a dormer window on the gable roof without the vanishing points. And I hope this video worth sharing, and do click the subscribe button before we proceed, and do watch the video to the end. Thank you very much. I started with the rectangular shape, like isometric shape on the top, because this is without the vanishing point, perspective drawing without the vanishing point. And of course I extrude that downward with a vertical line from each corner, just like this. Extrude them downward so that the below will be another rectangular shape, mirror that, but of course it's not identical in terms of perspective views. Just like this. Now the next step is to draw this diagonal line in order to find the central point from one angle to the other. What I'm trying to do is to divide this vertical face into three sections, basically three stories, basically, just like that. And then find the central point first before I divide them into three, just like that. Another vertical line on the center point, like this. So when that line cross another, that will be the line, and just like this. So now I have three stories. Of course, similar to this, repeat the same techniques. Cross line there with the mate, over the section, just like this. So now 3 stories. And of course I'm going to do another, divide them into 3 again. This will be the face rather than the flooring, the elevation of the side elevation into 3 faces, the 3 opening on each floor. Now where the line come across each other, that will be the line for each one. So now I have 3 faces of this side elevation, and on this one on the other side is different. What I'm trying to do there is to create the top of this gable roof, just like that, there on the side. And of course on the other side that will be hidden, but it is a guideline for now. I'm going to find the center point of that side of the wall so that I can extrude that line on the top as the guideline for the connection of the gable roof, like that. There you go. So what I'm going to do now is to create this again, the horizontal line on each one as a reference. That will be the height of this dormer window, like that. But before that, I'm going to find where the top of that gable window join that gable roof. So it is important for me to find this where the line meet, right there. So that will be connected to that. Of course, I need to find the center point of this roof because it's in a slight angle now, 45-degree angles. So with the same principle, creating the diagonal line on each one to find the center and where they met. There you go, that line there. So they will be in the right position, the right point where it met. Again, adding in a more line on the wall. Now I'm going to find the center line of this, where the center of this face for the reference for the windows opening. But before that, I'm going to add more of this horizontal line. And usually the Tudor architecture, Tudor features, they usually have very small window. That is because of the nature of the framing, the timber frames, wooden frame. So find the center point as the outline of the windows frame. It's just there. Like that. I'm adding the outline for now. I'm not adding too much detail of it. And of course, the outline of this end of this gable roof on the side. Looking for the outline for this window opening on the dormer window. The same method, find the outline by creating the center point. Just that. And of course, the projector is already there, all downwards. That would be symmetrical in terms of outline with the window below and the door window opening below. Now, the information are there. What I'm doing now is the indication of the wooden frames. At this stage, it's all about adding information that needed. It's all about indication of the timber posts, timber columns, and beams. This is the beam, the horizontal side of it that connected the columns and the beam that support the flooring. At this stage, it is very important to be attentive because this line, you're not attentive or concentrate, you could lose where the lines are. But of course, it is important to make the line drawings really fine and so clean and clear to the scene. So the next one, of course, to add this lock, more of a like diagonal wooden frame that is connecting between the columns and also support the beam above. Lock them together, keep it stay together. At the same time, it support that beam weight onto the column below. This is typical of the wooden structure of the Tudor building. Just like this. Now is to add slightly more detail on that window frame. Usually the timber window frame is added between those wooden structure, like lintel and stool. Just like this. And to the rest of them the same, maybe around 50 mm thickness frames. And of course the next stage, the next move is to hatch this timber frame, to differentiate between the wooden frames by making it black, darker, to differentiate the frame with the plaster. To accentuate these wooden frames, wooden structure, before it get lost into these multiple lines, multiple layers of lines. I mean, another frame there, the wooden frame there, to support the top of that roof. These are the typical of the Tudor structure, usually black, painted black wooden frames, and between will be the white plastered, rendered with plaster, white rendered with plaster. On the other side there. And this one, it is important to start with horizontal. It is good to be drawing in rhythm. I start with the horizontal or vertical only. Then of course the next one is the diagonal shape on this side. Both I ignore the cross on the other way. Just the left and right bottom for now. Just like this. So that if your hand could be in rhythm, then the next one, the others, another diagonal line that's similar, like this, from left to right below, from left to right below. Then of course going to the horizontal frames. It's good to have this kind of drawing exercise where you do the same, I do the same one, repeat, so in rhythm. And now I have all the information I need for these wooden frames structure. I'm going to add more darker line on the opening, window opening, to indicate the window opening, to accentuate the thickness where the shade, where the light coming from. Again, the same exercise. They have to bring this drawing more into three-dimensional visually, rather than just lines. And of course, I'm going to hatch that on this side, because on this side, left side here, right side here will be much darker, because the light, assume the light is coming from the left side. And of course, that overhang of that gable roof, slightly overhang, much darker below it, the frame. I'm using the clean paper before I cross hatch it, so it's not cross over to the other side. Just like this, to give a bit of a clean hatch. Just like that. And of course I continue it to add more again this with the horizontal hatching. Next one is to hatch that under the under the eave of the roof. To accentuate the overhang of that roof. And of course the gable window, dormer window there. Yeah, this stage is about hatching them to bring these drawings visually to look in three-dimensional visually. And of course on this side I add a bit of a line there to indicate the texture of these buildings. Just like that. I'm going to add more darker on that wooden frame, because as it get darker with the plaster, rendered plaster, I don't want to get lost in that multi-layers of lines. And almost there, almost the final stage now. I'm going to add more lines on that roofing. Make it much darker on this side there. More layers on that dormer. another line I think is to light on the roof. I'm gonna do in the side of this gable roof is the end of this the frame, the window frame of the gable roof, rather than just straight lines. But for now I'm going to make this opening darker, each one of them. I add more layers multiple times on this exercise, cross hatch. So thank you very much for watching, and before that I'm going to finalize it with the bit of ornamental features on the roofing on the side. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was worth sharing. Please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much.